Explain why Robert Curthose rebelled against his father, William I, 1077 to 80. You may use the following in your answer: William, Rufus and Henry. Gerberoy. You must also use information of your own. 12 marks. 6 of those marks will be awarded for AO2, which is your analysis of causation. This question is all about explaining why, so you need to identify some features to make your point. That brings us on to AO1, which is your knowledge and understanding of the period. Now you can use the stimulus points given to you in the question. You don't have to, but you can. But it's also really important that you use your own knowledge to progress into the higher bands. You can find out more about all of this on the overview videos. Here are the bottom 2 bands for this question. Again, our overview video explains all of this in much more detail, but have a read through to try and decide where you think your answer would fit. Generally speaking, to score highly on this question, your answer needs to analyse the question, and that means you need to have developed points which draw in relevant evidence. It should follow a logical structure, so it should be quite easy for the examiner to understand what you're arguing, and you should also be bringing in your own knowledge. Here are the top 2 bands for this question. To score in these bands, your answer needs to be analytical. Now remember that this question is all about causation and explaining why, so you need to have a really clear line of argument. You should be using evidence to support that argument and always explaining that evidence by linking it back to the question, linking it back to what you're trying to say overall. You should be using your own knowledge to show that you know a lot about the topic and have a really nice organised structure. As long as the points you make in your answer are relevant to the question and correct, the examiner will accept them. But here are some ideas of points that you could have included. It's a really good idea to use the point evidence explain structure in these longer answer questions. So, for example, you could make the point that William conquered Maine in 1073. Then you give your evidence, so you say that Robert believed he should be allowed to rule along with Normandy. And then you need to explain, you need to link that back to the question. So why did that lead to his rebellion against his father? Well, he allied himself with discontented elements in Brittany, Maine, Anjou and Gerberoy. Structuring your answer like this shows that you've developed your points. The examiner can see evidence of your analytical thinking and can therefore place you in the higher bands.